Alright, hello. Welcome back everybody. As usual, continuing with more Sacred Device. Evolution, World of Sacred Device. I think I mentioned in the announcement tweet, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty tired tonight, so this will probably be a bit more of a relaxed, kinda chill stream. Um Today was I'll finish that thought, not fought. Welcome back, Meg. Do you wish to retire for the evening now? Yeah. Man, I am so tired. The assignments have been getting tough lately. But I guess that means I'm finally an adventurer. What do you think, Linear? She agrees. Your reputation at the society and in town is vastly improved, Meg. I knew you had it in you. I knew it the first time I laid eyes on you, 16 years ago. I knew that you would grow into a true adventurer, worthy of the proud tradition of the Launcher family. And I kept believing in you, despite the many times I came close to being discouraged. I'll pull my mic up a bit. Now at last, the flower has finally bloomed. Oh, it gives me a lump in my throat. Someday, people all over the world will know Panem as the town where the renowned Meg lives. When that day comes, I will beam with pride and look back and say, thank goodness I kept believing. I know that wonderful day is not far off. That day will surely come, Meg. Who's there? Oh, this fucking dude again.
Ah, my sweet Linnea, what a coincidence we should meet at a place like this.
Ugh.
This rendezvous of ours must have been predestined by fate. I brought these here just for you. I hope you like roses. Roses and women both begin to lose their beauty once they have blossomed, wouldn't you agree, my dear?
You are such a fucking weirdo, god damn.
Don't you get it? A rose is most beautiful when it first begins to bud, and so it is with women and with you.
Oh god, I mean, if there's any way to make somebody just fucking hate a character, just, give them a reason to, be antagonistic towards, yeah, this is pretty fucking valid reasoning.
Now, Linear, you and I will be together.
Hey, Linear, is the tea ready yet? Linear!
Drat, right at the good part. Well, if it isn't Meg Launcher, I trust you are well.
Eugene, what are you doing here?
Today I thought I would take a break from work and mingle with ordinary civilians such as yourself. As two people both searching for evolution, we should learn to see eye to eye, don't you think? Instead of standing around talking here, I will sample your local hospitality.
Ugh, what a fucking guy. You let him into the house? Why? Oh, God.
I can tell what a marvelous adventurer your father was just by looking at you. I hope to meet him someday. I wonder when I will get the chance.
No one knows. We haven't heard anything from him since he wrote that letter that Linear was carrying that day. That is correct. Linear has already been with us for 3 years.
So she was not born into this family.
No, she wasn't. She came here 3 years ago. That was the first time we saw her, ever. Okay, good. I'm glad that we finally have, an answer, because this whole time I was like, are they related or not? Because people keep calling them boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'm like, is this weird? I don't know if this is weird or not. So, it's nice that, okay, this is a hard definitive, yes, okay, they are related, this is fine.
So she's not a Launcher by blood?
I already told you, she first came here 3 years ago carrying a letter from my father. Of course, she's family now. Isn't that right, Linear?
You don't suppose 3 years ago. So that's it! Now I see!
Yeah, Goose, step the fuck out of here. Oh, yeah.
You'll have to excuse me now. I just remembered something wonderful that I must do immediately.
Huh? What is he talking about? What's something wonderful? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That guy's just weird. Oh, hey, that's one of my... I think BRB images? Or is the stream starting soon? Because, like, I had heard of this game before playing it, but I hadn't gotten to, like, play it, so when I was making all of those, I was like, oh, I'll throw this one in there, because I'll eventually, you know, maybe want to play that one, so, huh. Weird. Kind of full circle. Hey, Linear, do you think he and I will ever see eye to eye? Good. Good. Yeah, again, you know, if you want any reason to fucking hate a character, I mean, this is, you know, they're setting it up well, at least. What shall I do, Your Highness?
Get her! Get that girl!
Yes, Your Highness. I like his gas mask. That's a character aspect I love. Like, for, like, fashion design, I guess. I don't know, I love characters with, like, gas masks. I think it's just such a neat-looking piece of apparel. What's that Eugene up to? Why did he leave in such a hurry? Does he have diarrhea or something? Man, I love the writing in old games, especially like working design games. Working design games are just full of just weird off-the-cuff stuff like that. Oh well, at least we got rid of that weirdo. Alright then, come on Linear, we've got work to do today. Good luck to the both of you. I will be waiting your return. Alrighty, cool. But yeah, as I was saying before all the cutscenes and whatnot, this would probably be a bit more of a laid-back, kind of chill stream. Not as much, like, talking discussion stuff, because, like, yeah, man, today, I mean, today and yesterday especially, it was, I feel like I say this a lot, but, it was real busy at work, and, yeah, just constant, just on the move, everything going on constantly, just a lot to do and just not enough time. Cool. Yeah, are there any other, or it's just heaven? Okay, yeah, just heaven rooms, that's all we got left. I mean, that's the only option, so, yeah, bring me there. And, I did do a little bit of cheating, I did a little bit of homework. I didn't look at what the boss was, but I did look up, you know, what are they weak to, so I do know the weakness of the boss, or at least what it should be. So, you know, we will equip an account for that. So what we got? Yeah, the flame. I'm gonna need the flame. But I don't know who I want to take with me. I kind of want to take Pepper, like, because she's my wife and I want to see her more. Yes. Actually, tell me a good story. But now, I'm a freelance adventurer, but eventually I want to be a novelist. Hey, sounds interesting. I guess that's why you're an adventurer. I thought that was her talking. I'm sure it'll be entertaining when you write all about you've seen on your adventures. Close, but no cigar. You're right that it's based on my adventures, but it'll be a love story, a romance. Cool. Yeah, let's go. Do you have fire stuff? I'm curious. You don't? But... I mean, surely there's gotta be, like... Because there's Ice Cart, Lightning Cart, surely there's gotta be, like, flame cart, right? The question is, do I wanna... You know... Oh, that's nice! The party members scale up with us. That's really, really convenient. I was worried that, like, if we take Gree again, he'd be, like, super under level. That's really convenient. Good. I like that. What's all your stuff, though? Can any of your stuff be upgraded? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go... upgrade your bullets. Cool. Eppa. Oh, that's 2,000? Damn. Don't know stuff that I can, like, sell it to maybe get to 2,000? I definitely do not. That is unfortunate. I mean, we can probably just, you know, as long as Meg has the flame parts, you know, we can manage, we can do it. Actually, speaking of working designs, today I made kind of a, not like a super hard decision, but it was like one where it's like, damn, I'm gonna miss this, but I decided to trade in my, oh gosh, what is it called? The Lunar 2, the big special, like, big box collector edition that I had on the PS1, because I had a ton of stuff on hold for me, like a ton of games, like a lot of them, and I was very hesitant to trade it in, naturally, just because, you know, I love working designs, love Lunar 2, it's one of my favorite games ever, so I was kind of hesitant to trade it in, but my company has not kept up to date on what that guy is actually selling for on, like, price charting and whatnot. Price chart's at, like, 225 Canadian. We still sell it for, like, 364.95 Canadian, so we give, like, you know, $200 in store credit for it, and I was like, you know what? This is probably the most it's ever gonna be now that, like, the, like, remaster is out, because the price of the first two games on PS1, like, dropped just like a stone after those came out, because it's a really good remastered collection. Like, if you're gonna play those games in any way, pick up the collection, it's really, really great. You know, so if I'm ever gonna replay it, I'm just gonna do it through the collection. So trade that guy in, plus, you know, 2 others, just to kind of top the credit up a bit. And yeah, I got, like, a ton of games today, a ton of, like, good ones too. I don't know if I'm going to talk about which ones I got, because I would like to play some of them on stream at some point. I think, I don't know, I kind of want to keep it a mystery, you know, keep it, ooh, little hidden, little mystery. But at the same time, I guess even if, like, I talk about what they are, that doesn't guarantee I'm going to do them soon. So, yeah, I'll talk about them. That's a good trap, right? Yes. Cool. Okay, so I got Maximum Carnage on Genesis, because after finishing Separation Anxiety on stream, I was like, damn, this is really good. It's really freaking hard, though. And apparently, Maximum Carnage is a lot easier. So I was like, well, shit. I'll get that. I'll play that on stream at some point. So I got that. I got Athena on NES, because that's a good one too, right? That is not a good one. Uh-oh. So I got Athena on NES, because, you know, I mean, I just love SNK. I think Athena's a great game. Just, you know, got it on, you know, NES. That one's a teleport, I believe. You know, got on NES. Oh, weird, you go upwards. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, Shoal, you know, you go downwards. Heaven Runes, you go upwards. Yeah, that makes sense. What was I thinking of now? Oh yeah, so yeah, Athena on NES. Then I got Blinks the Time Sweeper on original Xbox. That's a game I really want to play on stream. Gotta get my hands on the second one as well, because the second one's even better. But I got specifically the Platinum Hits version of Blinks, because I learned this, that is so interesting. The Platinum Hits version is easier than the Black Label one, because the Black Label, like, original is really, really hard and has some really bad, like, design decisions, specifically when it comes to, like, are these just, like, mounds of dirt? Yeah. Just really bad, like, design decisions when it comes to, like, balancing and, like, the vacuum upgrade gold cost, so they, like, changed everything in the Platinum Hits, more so to make room for when they eventually did the Platinum Family Hits, so, you know, it's just, you know, younger kiddos can play it a lot more easier. And so, pick that up. Because if I'm gonna play it on stream, I'm not afraid to admit it, I'm a little baby bitch. I will play the easier version. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I got that. Then I got, all on Switch, No More Heroes Travis Strikes Back, because that was a part of my original Switch collection before I sold everything off. And we finally got another one traded in, so I was like, I want that. Give me that. So I got that. Euphoria 2, The Saga. Never got to play the first Euphoria on NES, but it looks really cute. It looks fun, so I'm gonna play that. Don't know if I'll do that one on stream, but I don't know, I might, like, play through it, see how it is. It looks really cute, it looks good. And if I really enjoyed it, then, and, you know, if it's a game that, like, I'm like, oh, I want to go through this a second time, then, you know, I'll do it on stream. Then I got that new Raidou remaster, specifically I got the Switch 2 version, because, like, the Switch 2, like, enhancements, it's like, yeah, this just looks like a way better way of, like, playing it, just a much more enjoyable experience. Then what else did I get? Oh, I got Tetris Plus on the PS1. I wanted to get it on Saturn, but I think I've mentioned it before, we just do not see Sega stuff, like, ever in, like, my work anymore, just because where I live, it's very much a Nintendo PlayStation city. A lot of people really like their Nintendo. I like Nintendo, you know, I like NES, SNES, N64, the whole, you know, kit and caboodle, all that. So we see a lot, like, you know, Nintendo PlayStation stuff come in quite often, but not a whole lot of Sega anymore, which is a shame. I really, really love Sega a lot. So, like, Tetris Plus on Saturn, I may just have to, like, kind of hope I find it out in the wild at, like, a convention, or if I really want it, then I can get it on eBay. But, you know, I love Tetris. I first played Tetris Plus on, like, an arcade machine that had, like, I think it was, like, 300 games on it. It was one of those, At Games, like, Legend Ultimate machines, because we used to have one at my work, but then this fucking dickhead that used to work for us, I say us as if I'm, like, a higher up, used to work in the company after, you know, we canned his ass for being a really shitty, like, coworker in person, came by and fucking vandalized and ruined the machine after he was already banned from all the locations. He was a real fucking just dickhead. God, fucking can't stand him. Thank God he's, like, just gone now. Hopefully, like, just for good. He ruined it. That was like $1,000 machine, so it was really great. We were able to pursue a charge and fucking hit his ass with. I think he got charged with, like, mischief. It was classified as, which is, like, what a just a weird thing to get charged a crime for. You know, fucking mischief. We're charging you with lollygagging and, like, tomfoolery. Like, just what a weird, bizarre thing. But yeah, we used to have that at my location. We don't anymore because it just got viewed as, like, a liability because of that happening. So, you know, hey man, ruined a lot and more. But yeah, I played it on there for the first time, and it was really, like, really cool, fun version of Tetris with insanely cute sprite art, specifically for the girl adventurer. Let me actually see if I can pull up artwork of them. They have very cute designs. Let me, one sec. Yeah, here we go. Let me, I never have these things, like, prepared. Yeah, look at these two. Like, aren't they, like, so cute? Oh, they're so... Like, the dude, like, he looks like Mario, and he's all, like short and squat, and he's, like, you know, he's just, like, a little dude. And then the girl, the sprite art for her especially is, like, so cute and, like, nice looking. And, like, Loki, it's, like, me and who, like, for real. I love their designs so much. They're so just, like, adorable. Alright, back to the game, though. So yeah, I picked up that. That... I feel like that I might give its own stream. I don't know if I'll do, like... Unless I do a puzzle game grab bag part 2. Because I definitely want to do that. Lucky Charm, what do you do? I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah, just kind of says what it says on the tin. Only 5? Yeah, no, I'll just sell that. No. You know, that's definitely just a connecting hallway. I can just go up, loop and leave. Yeah. Give me that initiative. But yeah, I'm always just, like, thinking about just, like, the different games and whatnot that I would want to play on stream eventually, and just the order of them, when I want to do them. I know I've talked about it quite a bit, but October, I've got some good stuff cooking up for October. Because it's not just, like, just straight scary that I want to do. I also want to do, like, you know, just for the sake of, like, my own well-being, I want to do, like, Halloween, October adjacent stuff. But for the scary, like, the scary stuff I want to do, it's like this is going to be, like, the most stressful month of my life, just because, like, I scare so easily, not just, like, with games, but just, like, everything. I'm a very jumpy, easily scared person, so, like, man, really? Oh, this will be a bit... Might as well get comfy. But yeah, like, I'm just gonna be, like, just, you know, getting, like, scared, just, like, constantly, just, you know, the stress of, you know, my daily job, going and doing that, having to deal with the horrors of retail, and then immediately coming home and being like, alright, time to play this game that terrifies and stresses me out. Boy, oh boy, time to have some fun. Because, man, I have a puppet combo game that I'm gonna play, but, I'm kind of thinking about other ones, but, like, man, puppet combo games are so fucking scary. There's just something about, like, the way they look and play that's just so, like, like, it gives you the heebie-jeebies, you know? Yeah, all friends. And I remember reading, I can't remember, like, what article or what interview it was, but, one of the lead people behind Puppet Combo, I can only assume it was, like, probably one of the, like, musician, sound designer people. One of them said that, like, they intentionally make the games in a way where, like, the jump scares and the sound design, they do it in a way to trigger your fight or flight response as hard and as suddenly as possible. And it's like, you people fucking suck, but also that's awesome. Fireball, yum. Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot. Usually, on days where I stream, where, like, I'm working at my job, I'll usually wait until my break to, like, do the little, on Twitter, oh, hey, I'm streaming at this time. But I realized, as I was walking away towards, like, somewhere where I pit stop just to, get some energy drinks, just, because, to just top up my, my stock, I realized, oh shit, I never sent out that tweet, and it's like an hour before I usually like do it, so I just had to really quickly while I was walking just be like, hey guys, going live in like less than an hour, tune in, haha, and it's like, damn, I completely forgot. Oh, I just completely avoided that, nice. Man, today at work, there was, regular of hours that we see quite often. Obviously, again, privacy protection won't, say their name. If they happen to be watching, you'll know who you are. You're awesome, you're great, we love you. But they brought in, just like some games and trainings they had a pre-order to pick up, and they kind of kept it on the bump, so like, oh, there's like a big one in here, you're gonna be surprised by it, and yeah, it sure was a big one. It was the original Silent Hill on PS1. You know what, I should probably move Pepper to the back. Maybe? Let me think about it, because is her basic attack affected by range? Let me check if it says or not. Oh, well, never mind. I guess while I, finish this, I can keep on saying what I was saying. But yeah, Black Label Silent Hill 1 on PS1. That's a big, big, big expensive game now. That is a real fucking pricey one. But it was an absolute shame. It was unfortunate that, I guess he had said that, he picked it up secondhand very recently, and he didn't know that there were these, like, stains on the cover. It was really hard to see unless he kind of held it up to, like, the light, because it was like a... How'd I put it? Like, it was like a, not glue, but you know, like, how when glue dries, it kind of becomes, like, kind of see-through, and it becomes kind of like a hard, like, surface, like a tick-tick-tack-tack, like, you can tap it. It was kind of like that. Let me, oh, yeah, I guess I'll... There we go. I'm going to assume that her basic attack is affected by distance. So I'm gonna... I like how they just kind of, like, spin around. It's funny looking. I guess, yeah, I can kind of hide... Oh, no, it's... Oh, yeah, I guess... Yeah, they need to have it all clear, because I was going to say, I could probably, like, hide them linear, like, behind one of these guys, but no, it's not. It isn't, like, Ogre Battle or Unicorn Overlord style. You gotta have it clear. But yeah, so it was like... I kind of sent a picture to the other stores, because, like, I really want to be able to take it in, because, I mean, one, that's just a game, yeah, Silent Hill 1 is a game. No, it's a great game to do, just having stock in the company, but also, he's just such a nice regular, such a cool guy that, I want to be able to be like, yeah, like, we can take it in, but I sent the picture to one of the other stores, and I was like, hey, what's your guys' opinion on this? Like, I need a second, is this fine? And unfortunately, it was a pretty unanimous, no, we can't take it in, which is such a fucking shame for both the company and also for him. But thankfully, again, like I said, regular, he's super cool, we love him there, so he was really, really chill about it, and he was like, hey, you know what? Look on the bright side, because he decided instead of trading in as like just the disc only, he would hold on to. No, and he was like, hey, you know what? Look on the bright side. At least this means that I'm gonna get to hold on to this and keep it for a longer. It's like, yeah, like absolutely. Silent Hill 1 just such a great game, such a good ass game, because for those of you who have been watching, since the beginning for me, you know that, yeah, I kind of really like Resident Evil 1. My favorite in the series. Love, like, everything about it. One of my favorite games of all time. Weirdly enough, one of my, like, comfort games. And, I love Resident Evil 1. But even though Resident Evil 1, like, really started the survival horror genre, it was definitely Silent Hill 1 that, like, really, like, made it what it is. Because just everything about it, like, the presentation, the cinematography of it, just how good everything was. It was such a huge step up from Resident Evil 1 that it's like, yeah, like, Resident Evil 1 definitely influenced, like, so much of survival horror, so much so that, I feel like we get more Resident Evil inspired horror games than we do Silent Hill inspired, like, horror games, especially from, like, indie artists. But, like, man, Silent Hill 1, that, like, really pushed the bill of what can be done in not just, like, horror games, but just games for the time. Like, it was so fucking groundbreaking. And it's such a good example of how so many older games had to utilize the restrictions and limitations of the time. This is a little bit loud. I'm going to turn it down, like, just a little bit. Yeah, it's better. I need to be able to hear my beautiful voice, more better. Yeah, Silent Hill 1 utilized the restrictions and limitations of the hardware and just where game development was at the time to make what, made it so special. Specifically, the thing that Silent Hill is, like, most associated with is the fog. The fog is so integral and so important to the experience of Silent Hill, especially Silent Hill 1, and it's so funny that like, super important key aspect was done out of necessity to hide the loading screens. It's just one of those, like, strokes of genius that accidentally end up being, like just a flash of genius, like, this is, big for the game. Yeah, actually, I don't know if Pepper's basic attack is affected by range, because I feel like she's doing the same amount of damage. Because it was, like, 278, I think, last time. So, like, that's about the same amount of damage. I'll move her to the back and see how things change, how it goes. I love how I was like, oh, this will be calmer, it won't be... Yeah, I won't be nearly as talkative. And then, here I am. Gabbing and yapping like I usually do. So I don't know, maybe I just won't do, like, as long of a stream tonight, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I had a lot of healing stuff, okay. I just didn't organize it yet. Because I also, kind of had to rush home, get here in time for 9, so I also didn't get a chance to eat beforehand. Realistically, I probably could have made, like, a cup noodle really quickly, but by the time I kind of thought to do that, it was already like, there's, like, only 10 minutes left until the stream properly starts, so it's like, I don't really want to delay that. Which, actually, speaking of which, I'm sorry, a pole with a what? Oh, a pole with a net. Okay. God, I'm so glad that oh. Hey, nice. I'm so glad that I very obsessively and, like, compulsively, do stream prep and, like, check the dials, cross the I's, dot the T's, do everything that I can before starting to make sure, I don't have to be like, oh, sorry guys, technical difficulties, BRB, and then I don't BRB for, like, 30 minutes. Because that almost happened there was a update for OBS tonight where it was just like, oh hey, here's an update. Update your shit, idiot. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'm an idiot. I need to update my shit. OBS knows me so well. So I updated all of it. And I didn't realize that when you update, it kind of like, you know, disconnects, so to say, the like audio sources, because I don't know if any of you have ever used OBS, but like, you know, you make in your sources, you know, the audio source, and then under the audio source you can choose like, oh, you know, here's all the valid devices connected, what do you want to source audio from? So, you know, I have one for my mic, obviously, as you're hearing me, and then one for my capture card. I don't know if I actually need to do an audio source for my capture card, because I feel like the capture card itself would provide the noise, but when I was doing the initial tests, it was really weird, and I remember, you know, I made an audio source for a reason, I can only assume. I should probably, like, check all that at some point and be like, do I actually need this separate audio source? Anywho, I have those, so I went to go check everything and be like, oh, sorry, it's like a little ledge. It's kind of hard to tell, though, you know, it's a little dark. Train of thought. I need to get this train back on the rails. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, while we wait for that to diffuse, I guess I'll just, you know, remember where I was going. Yeah, audio sources. So, like, my mic wasn't picking anything up, but it was active. And the Dreamcast, like, you know, how I'm playing through OBS, no game audio was coming through at all, and I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? What's going on? And I was kind of looking at everything. I'm like, what? Why is there, like, nothing? Why is there nothing? And then, you know, after a bit of, like, putzing around with it, I, found, oh, the audio sources just say deactivated. There's nothing they're connected to. So, fix that up really quickly. Did a quick test. Just, you know, turned the system on. You know, yelled out good old, you know, test 1 2 1 2 into the mic. You know, 1 2 1 2, what's happening, fool? And you know, it was picking everything up, audio was coming through, so I was like, okay, oof, crisis averted. Oh, yeah, actually, I think going back to horror games, and also games I want to play during October, a game that I would very much like to play is Shipwrecked 64. I remember following that when it, like, initially launched and first came out, so unfortunately I kind of already know a lot of the sauce with that game, but it's been so long that I feel like everything will still be, like, kind of fresh. But the only issue with that game is you gotta be kind of smart to play it. You know, you gotta have the ARG brain to decipher a lot of, like, what goes on in the game and how to progress. And I don't know if you can tell, probably just by listening to me ramble on about stuff and also just my gameplay quality, I'm kind of a fucking idiot when it comes to stuff like that, especially, like, logical puzzle solving. So if I do play Shipwreck 64, which I very much want to, I feel like that'd be kind of one of those games where it's like, look, I'll try and solve everything naturally as best as I can, but from what I remember, there's just some stuff where it's like, man, if you don't have a guide and you're not, like, again, ARG brained, where it's like you eat ARGs for breakfast, that's, like, your thing, you're going to struggle and get brick-walled a lot. And I feel like a stream of just me being just, you know, what do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this cipher. I feel like would be very, one, unentertaining, and two, very frustrating for those that are actually smart enough to figure it out on their own. Would that kind of cheapen the experience, like, a little bit? Because you are supposed to figure it all out on your own. But you also do kind of get to a point where it's like, okay, I have exhausted all my options. I don't know what else to do. I need to just swallow my pride and use a guide. That was a funny rhyme. And I don't know, I think people that, like, get really, like, upset and on people's asses for using guides, like, it kind of just depends on the context. I feel like it's like, look, them using a guide isn't affecting your gameplay experience. If you don't want to use a guide, absolutely go for it. You know, I encourage people to not use guides as much as possible, because, you know, games tend to be the most fun when you do stuff and figure it out for your own. It can be really satisfying, it can be really gratifying. But at the same time, when my stupid ass is playing Baba Is You and I'm stuck on a puzzle for like 40 minutes and I just haven't not been able to figure it out at all because I do not have a logical puzzle forward brain, you gotta just kinda at some point just take the L and just be like, okay, what's the solution to this? What do I gotta do? That's also kind of my worry too, if I ever, like, you know, play like a real old school like Famicom RPG on stream. A lot of those RPGs, there is a lot of stuff in those games where it's like you play and you're like, yeah, this whole segment, this was made to sell guidebooks. Like, there's one part in the beginning of Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior, whichever you prefer, 4, where it's like the game wants you to, like, it's like right in the beginning when you're playing as like Ragnar. I'm going to assume that that's just like a connecting hallway down there. Yeah, where you're playing as Ragnar and you go to that like little village, and the game just kind of expects you to just talk to literally everybody in the village, know to talk to the prisoner during the day, and then you come back during like the night and talk to him again, and then you wait more, and then you go talk to the lady, and then they like escape the little jail prison, and they flee the city, and that's like, or the town, and that's how you like progress the game. And it's like, man, you really think my stupid ass is gonna know to do that? Nah, man, give me the, you know, the Prima strategy guide, or whatever the Japanese equivalent back then would have been like Famicom Monthly, CoroCoro. Was CoroCoro around during the Famicom? God, I need to check. One sec. Before I do that, I'll, yeah, you do the cool animation while I look this up. CoroCoro magazine. Start date? Would that be it? Alright, 1977. May 15th, 1977. As a magazine for Doraemon. Interesting. No, wait, no. CoroCoro is the... I'm thinking of Famitsu magazine. That's what I'm thinking of, not CoroCoro. I know that CoroCoro did do a lot of video gamey stuff, I think. Because I know Pokemon Blue in Japan, you could only get through CoroCoro, unless they just had Pokemon related stuff in there. But no, but Famitsu magazine. June 6th, 1986. That is not too far off from, aside from the year, the date and month, that is not too far from my birthday. So yeah, I guess, a lot of stuff in Dragon Warrior early on was like, yeah, this is pretty made to just sell more copies of Famitsu. Go to the monthly readers section. Same thing with the Nintendo Power. God damn, there were so many NES games where it's like, you can tell that this was made to bait people into writing into Nintendo Power to be like, I'm a stupid young little schoolboy. I don't know how to do this part. How do I beat this part? What do I do? Where do I go? And then you would have to wait the month for the magazine to get, like, done the following month. Then it would, like, you know, you would just have to hope that they answered your, like, letter in that issue. If not, wait for the next one. Still no answer. Okay, send it to them again, and then hope that that's the time where they, like, actually answer it. And by then, you might not be playing that game anymore. You may have just been, like, renting it. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I mean, at least he's feeling great. I'm happy for him. Happy for you. Oh, hello. Hi, I appreciate the raid. Hello. Yo, how's it going? I've been talking to an audience of, I think, just myself so far, just, you know, kind of rambling. I'm, like, real tired for today, so I was like, oh, you know, it's probably going to be a bit of a more casual stream. Hello. Evolution's awesome. It's, so before I started playing this, it was really funny. I bought it from, like, work, because I was like, oh, it's a Dreamcast game, not terribly expensive, and, you know, I've heard this is an RPG, so I'm curious in playing this, because, yeah, I love my RPGs. You know, just my favorite genre. Put it on the shelf, completely forgot that I bought it. I finished Whacked, and I was like, what game am I going to be playing now? I'm not entirely sure, and I was like looking through all my games, and I was like, Evolution, what's Evolution? And I look through, and I'm like, oh no, I am on a proper-ass Dreamcast. I'm, like, for real, it's, how do I prove this? How do I prove that I'm on a Dreamcast? I'm trying to think of how to do this. Yeah, my setup. Okay, so I have a Dreamcast going into an AV to HD converter, into an Elgato capture card, into my PC, and I'm playing this through OBS. It's a bit of a mess, but it works. It just barely works. I did the same thing with Resident Evil 1 on Saturn. I just did it through the Saturn, and it was, again, really just how'd I put it? Really janky, but I managed to beat it all on stream, so it works. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, just all jury-rigged. If it works, it works. As one of my teachers once said, we don't do perfect, we do finished. And, it works. But yeah, Evolution. So, went in completely blind with this, and I was like, oh, you know, it's an RPG. Let's play it. That'll be fun. So, yo, I'm doing the whole intro prologue, going through all the dialogue, yada yada, and we finally get to the gameplay, and then, you know, we get into the dungeon, and I see the little map, and, like, you know, everything like this, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a mystery dungeon game! No way! Like, I had been craving to play a mystery dungeon game very recently, so I was like, this is, like, absolutely perfect. Yeah, let's do those. So I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm thrilled about that, and I think it's really cool that it's, like, mystery dungeon mixed with, like, you know, traditional JRPG battles. I think that's a really neat, twist. It's really weird. The way the gameplay works is, yeah, it's like, semi-grid-based, like, proper RPG, where the way it works is, I'm doing, like, hand motion stuff right now. Both you and the enemies are on your own 3x3 grids. The distance, so, like, you know, you can, you know, move, like, up, for instance, or you can, like, move back. your position affects your abilities and your damage. If you're way up at the front, you move faster, so you can act quicker. You do more damage, but you also take more damage. Middle, where like Meg and Pepper are right now, that's like kind of neutral, your regular speed, regular defense, regular damage. And then way in the back, you're less likely to be targeted by enemies. You take less damage, but you also deal less damage. But some characters, their abilities, like Pepper, she has like this like gun on her, this like weapon frame, where it just like doesn't affect your damage at all, so you can just have her in the back doing max damage. And the, I guess, whole gimmick, yeah, it's really cool. It's like really unlike anything else I've really played. It kind of reminds me of like Live Alive or like the Lunar games, but like more 3D. And you can even, like, on here, like, you can change your formation, so, like, you know, Meg, he's just, like, the all-around, like, just good character, brawler, good defense, so I have him up the front, just, like, eating damage. Linear, she's, like, the cleric healer. Pepper's, like, you know, ranged, just, you know, straight damage, so have them in the back. Because I don't need her doing damage, she's just healing. She's unaffected by range. Meg does he does a lot of damage up at the front. But it's really neat, though, I guess, because you can't, like, use healing abilities or abilities, like, out on the field like this. Like, you can only do it when you're in battle. So, on top of, like, you know, just trying to, like, finish the battles, you always gotta think, like, can I squeeze in an extra turn here to heal up in between? And you also, you're really limited on your inventory slots. You can only have up to 32 items at any given time. This includes, like, equipment, healing items that you can use on the field, or the whole story of the game is that you're playing as the son of a adventurer in, like, a small, like, island town, and there's ruins all over the place, and you're going in to get this treasure to pay off your family's debt. So you go into the ruins, you find treasure, and then you bring it back, because monsters don't drop gold. Monsters only drop, you know, or I guess they give you XP, and you can occasionally get items from them, but most of the items, you know, you'll find in, most of the items you'll find in just these chests on the ground. Appraisal items can't be sold to regular, like, general store. That can only be sold at what's called the Society, which is where you get the assignments to go to these ruins. And in the background, there's, like, a sort of military, sort of pseudo-espionage, like, B-plot going on, where there's, like, this other nation's army that's coming in and, like, excavating these ruins, looking for a, like, mystical frame, which I actually don't know if I mentioned it. The frame are, like, those little robotic things on the characters. Yeah, actually, I don't know if it was Trails, but, Sunny, from one of the other locations, she really wants to stream the Tales of games with me. Just, you know, action RPG, just style games like that. Oh yeah, but yeah, the frames. Those are those kind of like robotic, weapony armor kits, I guess I would say, are on the characters. And there's this, like, legendary hidden one that's, like, rumored to exist called, like, Evolutia, which I can only assume is, you know, where the game gets its name from, you know, Evolution, sacred device. And they're trying to find that. You're also kind of trying to find it, but, like, not as persistently as them. And, you know, they pop up from time to time. Right now in the game, I'm on, I think, the last main ruins. Again, I'm playing this completely blind, so there could be even more past this. But I assume once I finish this, the ruins that have been getting excavated by the military dudes are gonna open up, and then I'll be able to go in there, because I think I'm
10 hours? 10, 12 hours into the game. I looked up about how long an average playthrough is, and I think it scales up based, because all the ruins, when you do them, you can tackle them in any order that you want. I think there's like technically like an optimal path. I should really like let linear heal. There's like a technical optimal path to do the game in, but you can tackle the dungeons in like any order that you would like to do it in. And I'm pretty sure they scale kind of based on where you are in the game. The previous runes that I did, which was like the Sheol ruins, so that was like the kind of Helheim ruins, this is the Heaven ruins. That one, I believe, had 20 floors, and the enemies scale, with every floor that you go down, they go up one level. So, ooh, what did he drop? Yeah, I don't need that. So yeah, enemies scale up per level of the floor. I think I'm actually a little over leveled for where I am at the game right now, because last stream, or maybe not last stream, but the stream before that, I was having a lot of issues with like the boss at the end of the dungeon, so I like level grinded like super hard, and I kind of power leveled myself by mistake. But yeah, I think for this one, the last, because this is like the last dungeon. Oh. Uh-oh. Cool, thank you. I think this one will have like 25 floors. If I were to assume, just based on like how it's been like scaling so far. And yeah, like I'm really, yeah, it's like a big unique boss. The first ruins I did was the end boss. It was like this big lizard kind of bullfrog looking thing with like these like bolts, like, oh my god, it's so dark I can barely see. And I've already bumped up the brightness on like the video settings, so it's like this is like really dark. Yeah, it was like this big bullfrog dragon looking guy with like a bolt on him. And then the second one was, what was he? Gosh, I'm blanking on what it was. Third one was like this like golem looking like robot dude. He looked kind of neat. And then the other one from the one that I did the previous stream was like a big moth at like the bottom of like the Sheol ruins. It had a really brutal death. It like, I pummeled it, did the like fight over animation, and then it flew upwards and it just dive bombed into the lava and then just started like flailing around, and it's like, holy shit, he's fucking dying. Like, god, like, oh my god. I think you're weak to electricity. And that too, all the enemies have like, let me see, are you weak? Nah, I don't think that was enough damage. All the enemies have like elemental affinities, so like, you're kind of encouraged. Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's kind of like what I want to do with my streams. Is I want to do like just weird, obscure games like this that like people haven't like forgotten about, but like you just don't really hear talked about much. Because I remember when I was playing Whacked on the original Xbox, a viewer of mine that, tunes in from time to time, found me through the original Resident Evil stream. He just happened to tune in when I was playing, and I don't know if you've ever played Whacked before, but, the characters are, spoiler alert, they're all kind of based off the 7 Deadly Sins, so the one that's, based off of Lust, her costume is literally just sensor bars. She's just, like, naked. In fact, let me see if I can pull up, like, a picture of her. One sec. Oh, jeez, I get into a battle. Uh-oh. Oh, well. Yeah, just, I turn around for 1 second and I'm in a fight. Anyways, she's, just, lady all in blue, but, yeah, her outfit is literally just 2 sensor bars. One for the front, one for the back, because, it's, like, behind the back, so, the sensor bar just completely censors, like, her entire bottom, and that viewer had just happened to tune in, and I just see him type, he's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, oh, it's Whacked on the original Xbox. You ever heard of Whacked before? And he was like, is she naked? Why is she naked? And I was like, man, it was a different time. It was... You were able to just get away with stuff like this. Because I can't believe it. I completely forgot about this, but that game, despite one of the characters literally just being butt-ass naked, is just rated T for teen. And I think the only reason why they were able to get away with that was because, again, there's no actual nudity, and most of the swears in the game are, like, censored. Like, one of the characters, when he dies, he just starts swearing up a storm, so it's just, like, rapid, like, censored bleeps. Kind of funny. Yeah, I get both of them. It's like, yeah, it's rated T for teen, and I was just talking about the game more, and just as I was playing and he was watching, eventually he was like, this game is, like, absolutely insane. This game is, like, this is, like, what the hell is this? And I was like, man, thank you for justifying my entire, like, MO with, like, everything that I want to do with this stream. I want people to come into my stream and see the weird, like, bullshit games that I'm playing and be like, what is this? Yeah, no, for real. Especially on the original Xbox, where everything is censored, like the swears, which I know that everybody has, like, everybody's always like, oh, they, censored it, they made it, like, they ruined it. Me, personally, I think the censor bleeps make the game way funnier, because when it's censored out like that, your brain kind of just autofills whatever you think would be the funniest in that moment, and I don't know, I find censor bleeps to just be really funny, especially when they just, like, come out of nowhere. Like, in the beginning, when the one Teddy scientist, he's, like, looking at, like, the table, I can't remember if it's in the original Nintendo 64 one or not, but in the Xbox version, he's like looking at it, he's like, oh, let's see here, Teddy formula, and this is teleportation, and then he goes, levitating chocolate, blip, fuck out to here, and he, like, just, like, it just, that really quick little, like, censor bleep, as he, like, backhands it out of the window is just, like, so funny to me. God, my depth perception sucks. Are they all in a line? They aren't, but I'll use that anyways. And yeah, I've, like, I guess just going back to, Evolution as well, yeah, like, I've absolutely fallen in love with this game, playing it, yeah, no, that it's just that classic, like, Rareware, really, like, tongue-in-cheek, just kind of, like, weird sense of humor. I'm really excited for October, because I was talking about it earlier in the stream, like, before, the raid, but, I don't really need the electric ball, before the raid, but, for October, I want to do just, like, a lot of, like, not just, like, straight... Yeah, no, like, classic Rareware is, like, so peak. Like, they really... I don't want to say they, like, completely carried Nintendo during the 64 era, but, like, whenever you look into, like, oh, what are the best games on the Nintendo 64? That little blue and gold emblem, that emblem comes up a lot. Like, a lot. But for October, I want to do... not just, like, just straight horror games, but games that are very, like, October, Halloween adjacent, kind of spooky atmosphere. I like to say the term spooky, but not scary, which is how I would describe, like, Luigi's Mansion, for instance, right? Like, that's a game that I don't think many people would describe it as scary, but it still has that kind of off atmosphere to it. That weird, like, realistic look they went for, the, like, ambient noises. Oh, 2 jungle boots. That just kind of weird, ambiance they went for. I'm, like, messing up, like, all the buttons. I need to throw these away. So I want to do games like that, and one that I'm really excited to do is from Rareware. It is Grad by the Ghoulies. I don't want to leave the floor yet. I adore Grad by the Ghoulies with all my heart. It is, like, in my top 5 favorite games of all time. It's one of those games where every single year I make sure to play through it, like, at least once during October, because it's the kind of game where, like, you know, even they said, like, for Rare Replay in the, like, developer commentary videos, which I heavily recommend. If you have Rare Replay, I think they put them on their YouTube channel. Watch through all those. There's a lot of really interesting, like, insight. Ooh. Can I put you on? Oh, that's just a literal just downgrade. Yeah, like, all of those are just absolute certified classics. Perfect Dark especially. I feel like not enough people talk about Perfect Dark. Everybody, I think justifiably, talks up GoldenEye a lot, but man, Perfect Dark is so good, especially, like, going from Perfect Dark. I'm pretty sure the team that worked on Perfect Dark and GoldenEye later went on to do Time Splitters. I'm 99% sure that they went on to form Free Radical. If that's not the case, then Free Radical absolutely wears their inspiration on their sleeves. But regardless, Grad by the Ghoulies was, you know, the first game Rareware made after being acquired by Microsoft, and I don't like the notion that people always say, oh, Microsoft ruined Rareware. That was when they went downhill. It's like, nah, man, Rareware stayed really good for, like, a really, really long time. Well after, well after they got acquired by Microsoft. Like, Grad by the Ghoulies is an awesome game, and I will die on that hill. I think at the time it didn't get received very well because people were expecting Rare to make, you know, Banjo on the Xbox, or, like, Conquer on the Xbox, or what have you. So to have this weird, cartoony, spooky horror game for kids that just came completely out of left field, I feel like a lot of people were like, but where's the bear, damn it? And understandably, but Grad by the Ghoulies is so awesome. Right, I tend to get on tangents a lot and just lose the plot of what I was originally talking about. Walking it all the way back, Grad by the Ghoulies is the kind of game where, you know, self-admitted by the developers, it's not really like this big, long, multi-hour, like, epic saga that you're supposed to play over the course of, like, a week for multiple hours. It's like a game where, like, you finish it in, like, 3 sessions of a couple hours. Yeah, no, I think that was when they did too, because same thing, even after Grad by the Ghoulies, Viva Pinata on 360. That game is awesome. Whenever anybody comes in, they're like, hey, my kid has a 360. I want a good, family-friendly game for them. What do you got? Viva Pinata and Trouble in Paradise, the sequel, are like my immediate go-to, hey, this game is awesome. That was like the game, aside from Halo 3, good to be admitting that, you know, at the age that I was, but when I was like a little kid, Viva Pinata and Halo 3 were like the games that made me want a 360. Because geez, when did Viva Pinata come out? 2006? I think I would have been like 7. I didn't know what the hell a Rareware was. I just saw the funny looking pinata animals, and I wanted to play that. And I played the absolute hell out of that, so much so that I got an Xbox One specifically to play the 2 Viva Pinatas on Rare Replay, and Grab by the Ghoulies. Just for that. Obviously, I have more games on the Xbox One and Series X now, but Rare Replay, that was like, again, the reason I got one. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, man, I feel like Rare Replay is gonna be one of those games that people will look back on and be like, damn, this was a pretty, like, defining game on this, like, system. Honestly, I still think whenever people get an Xbox One and they're like, what games do you recommend? I'm like, alright, get this. Not only is it a good game, there's, like, 30 good games in this. Good is kind of subjective. ZX Spectrum games, yeah, I'm a weirdo that likes stuff like that. Most people probably don't have patience for, like, Jetpack or Saberwolf. I do, because I'm a weirdo, and I like games like that. Yeah, 30 for $30. Dude, honestly, all you gotta get is just one game on there that you like, and it pays for itself. It's so good. It's such a just good value. I still think one of the best game collections ever made to this day. Like, it is so good. But yeah, all the way back, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I love getting on tangents, but I also need to get better at finishing my thoughts. Grabbed by the Ghoulies is so neat because it's... The way I pitch it to people is that on the surface... Uh-oh. Oh no, I alerted the enemies. On the surface, it's just a very simple twin-stick beat-em-up. The controls were very deliberately made... I'm just stepping on, like, everything. The controls were deliberately made to be very simple. The camera is controlled with the two triggers. You just move left and right with that. You move around with the control stick, and then you use the other control stick to fight. You just hold it in one direction, and it'll just automatically do just, like, a combo of, like, you know, strikes and punches and kicks and whatnot. And it was very deliberately made to be very simple, but still flashy, because the game on the surface is like a spooky 3D beat-em-up, but in reality is more of a puzzle game masquerading as a beat-em-up, because the game starts out just real simple. First room in the game, there's a bunch of imps. Quite literally pummel the imps to death, just beat the fuck out of them. And then you get to another room where it's like, okay, rooms can have, like, objectives where it's like you have to find the key hidden in the furniture. So you just, again, you just break the hell out of all the furniture. Just punch the couch in half, smash the chairs, find the key that's hidden. And then you do that. You find the key, the door unlocks, you move on. But the further and further you get into the game, the more complex, weird, and stupid the challenges get. One of the ones I always think of is in, like, the mansion, like, junkyard area, where the enemies are nothing but haunted chairs. Yes, you fight haunted chairs. And you are not allowed to hit them with your fists. You are not allowed to hit them with weapons. And you have to kill all 30 of them. And you have, I think, one attack you're allowed to do. How the hell are you doing this? And that's for you to figure it out. Yes, please play Grabbed by the Ghoulies. It is awesome. I will champion that game until the day I die. It is one of my favorite games ever. It's not terribly expensive on the original Xbox, but if you're gonna play it in any way, get it on Rare Replay. Because a testament to just how good the art style of that game is. Literally, yes! Thank you, Vipes. Very based. Thank you. I have not found many other people that like that game. Fuck yeah. The game, it has this, like, really particular art style to it where everything is very, like, angular. It's just all straight, yes, if you ever on Rare Replay, play it on that. That's the best way to play it. It's all very angular, no soft curves. It's very, like, straight angle. It almost looks like it could have been like a Nintendo 64 game, which, now that I think, it may have started development as a Nintendo 64 game. And the art style of it holds up so well. Literally, all they did Yeah, the little when you like press start. The art style of it. Literally, all they did was they just bumped the internal resolution up from like the 480 of the original Xbox to 1080, made it play in 60 FPS, and guess what? It's one of the best looking games on the Xbox One. It is such a... It's such an artistically strong game, and... What's in here? Right, yeah, I should probably get that. I'm not very good at articulating my words. I like to talk a lot, but I'm not great at, like, articulation. It's one of those kind of games where, like, because of how they did everything, it'll never look outdated or, like, look bad. The art style of it is, is incredibly strong. This is gonna take a while. They get free initiative. Yeah, no, it's just... This will go well because they do all of their turns. Then they get to do their turns again, and then I finally, will get to do stuff. Yeah, no, for real. Oh, yeah, no, for sure, yeah, have a great night, and, thank you for joining and raiding. I really appreciate it. If you're taking away anything, though, definitely play Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Even save it for October. It's great. Love it. You'll love it, guaranteed. But yeah, take care, man. I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm going to heal up. But yeah, no, that's awesome that you also like Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I love that game so much. Years ago when I, obviously before I started streaming, I did kind of a... almost like a prototype to what I want to do in October, where I took like a week off vacation in October, and I had like my friends over every day, and we would just play like a different scary, spooky game. And one of the final games we played Grabbed by the Ghoulies, all in one solid sitting. Yeah, no, that's actually exactly what we did. We played Grabbed by the Ghoulies in one sitting from beginning to end, and the way we did it was, every room, like, you can finish some rooms in as quick as, like, a minute or two. So we would just, as soon as one of us finished a level, pass it on down the line, and, like, we just kept on jumping between the three of us. If one of us lost a room, pass it down the line. Just, just bam, 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 keep on going. And, yeah, that was, like, one of the favorite games that we played from that week. Was that game. I remember the first time, because me and my one friend, we have a very similar sense of humor, as in a really dumb one. We think like, how'd I put it? Like, if you ever seen like the cartoon Smiling Friends, that game is, not game, that cartoon is very like, oh god, that game is, I keep on saying game. That cartoon is like our exact style of humor. So, again, my friend had never seen Grabbed by the Ghoulies before this. So in the very first level, when all the imps are, like, running around you, the second I just overhand, like, gorilla slammed one of the imps, and he just went, eh! Like that, and then I kicked him and he went flying. My friend lost his shit immediately. He was like, this game is fucking awesome. And by the time we were done with it, he was like, I am so happy I came over and we did this. This was such a great experience. And like, yeah, I hold that really high up there in my heart, because it's like, this was just such a fun thing to do. We also played, I don't know if you've ever played it, the Disney's Haunted Mansion game. That game, bizarrely enough, so you'd think, oh, based off the movie from like 2004, yuck. No, bizarrely enough, okay, I'm gonna knock you on your socks when I say this. That game isn't based on the movie. It's based on the ride from Disney World, of all things. The game takes place in like 1880, I think, and you follow a character named Zeke. He looks exactly how you would think based off that name, and the whole point is, oh, he's like a writer who wants to get inspiration for his novel, so he goes to this old mansion down Louisiana, and it just happens to be the Haunted Mansion. And then you go in, and I'll spare you the whole explanation. It's literally just Luigi's Mansion, but like not Nintendo, basically. It's so blatant, like, this is just Luigi's Mansion, but instead of a vacuum, you have, like, a little oil wick, like, lantern that, like, you shoot energy out of. Really great game. The cool gimmick of it is that every single room is a unique puzzle that has to be solved, and then, the lights come on, you find all the different spirits that are hiding around, and then you suck them up. Once you get enough spirits, you can go to, like, the different rooms. But it never occurred to me, because I figured it was just an original story based on the property of Haunted Mansion. But then I got to near the end of the game, and one of the rooms, I shit you not, is based 1-to-1 on the ride with, like, again, I don't know if you've ever seen the ride, but there's, like, this part of the ride where, like, there's, like, this optical illusion where it looks like the floor and, like, the ceiling is, like, raising and lowering, and that was literally one of the puzzles in the room, and when we were playing it, because that was, like, the furthest I'd ever gotten, I was like, oh my god, this is based on the ride! This isn't the movie, this is the ride! And it's, I won't say it's, like, the greatest game in the world, it won't blow your world on fire. Yeah, no, it like, the gears in my head were turning, and it clicked, and I was like, oh my god, it's based on the ride, holy shit! And, it's like a 6.5, 7 hour long game, and it's like, it comes from that era of games where it's like, movie games were getting better, but they still kind of sucked in a really appealing way, where it's like, this game is kind of slop, but, like, sometimes you just need a bit of slop. It's like, as I always say, it's kind of like with Skyrim. Skyrim is a lot like McDonald's. Sorry, I'm, like, losing my, like, my train of thought where I'm going with this tangent. I'm not going to end it off on Skyrim is like McDonald's. But Skyrim is a lot like McDonald's. There's way better options. There's healthier options. There's, options that probably are more cost efficient, but man, nothing hits like a Skyrim Magic playthrough, kind of like how nothing hits like a 2 a.m. McDouble. Like, there's something magical about it that just no other game and no other fast food establishment can, like, equate to. And yes, I am comparing Skyrim to McDonald's. Todd Howard, you beautiful bastard, you. Yeah, so sometimes you just kind of need that slop. Sometimes slop is fine. And it's weird. Again, I wouldn't say it's, like, scary, right? But it's oddly really atmospherically dense for what should be, like, a kid's Disney game. Because, when I was a little kid, naturally my parents would just be like, that's a game based off, like, a cartoon he likes, or a movie. Let's just get him that. So I'm very well versed with just, like, slop tie-in games. And that was one of them. And I feel like a lot of parents didn't realize that this game is weirdly really, really eerie and really unsettling in a lot of ways. Like, the game is, like, dark, like, visually really, really dark, and without any visuals to describe it, I remember one of the things that, like, really scared me when I was a kid was, when you're going through the hallways, there are these, like, boarded up, like, door rooms that, like, you just can't go in. They're, like, boarded up with, like, nailed, like, 2x4s. And if you stand too close to them while you're running by, these fucking, like, zombie arms burst out of the door and, like, slash and grab at you, and it makes this horrible screaming noise. And it's so weird that it's in, like, a Disney game. You wouldn't think it would be, like, that, because it's, like, it's scary. Whatever you think Disney, you don't think scary. Then there's this other enemy, too, that's, like, I guess she's kind of like based off like a the whole idea of like a banshee, like just a specter that screams at you, and like her eyes are like sunken in and missing the eyeballs, and her mouth is like super long and just kind of droops there, and she like screams at you super high pitched, and it's such a weirdly eerie and like scary game for no good reason, but I kind of like it because of that. Because how'd I put this? I think it's really good when there's like horror media made for kids, because, you know, it kind of challenges like, you know, what can make people comfortable, especially at like a younger age. I think like Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? I love Courage the Cowardly Dog because when I was a kid, that show scared the piss out of me pretty consistently. You know, there's the episodes of people always think of, but, you know, just like the monster stuff, that really scared me. And I'm glad it scared me. I think that was what kind of developed my love and, you know, appreciation for just like the horror genre in general. I gotta stop yapping and like pay attention to my health. I was about to just like autopilot that. Or stuff like Goosebumps. I think Goosebumps is, because, you know, a lot of people look at Goosebumps and they're like, this sucks, this is written so, it's dumb writing, these stories don't make any sense, there's these just really out there, bizarre, like, out of left field endings. Like, the one I always think of is, oh gosh, what was it? It's the one where the kid is having, like, nightmares. No, not the one where he's having nightmares. Scrambled Eggs from Mars, or whatever the hell it's called. The one about the living scrambled eggs. The ending is the most bizarre thing I've ever read in, like, a kid's book. You know, spoiler alert for this children's horror novel that came out in the 90s. If there's any Goosebump heads in the audience looking to read that book yet, tune out for like a minute, I guess. But it's like the ending ends with like the kid, I think his friend and his uncle defeating the eggs. The eggs like perish and die or whatever, and the kid and the uncle are like, wow, really great that we beat those eggs. That almost went bad. And then the main character, the son, is like, yeah guys, thanks for helping. Man, my tummy feels weird. And then he goes out on the front lawn and just lays an egg. An egg just falls out of him, and that's how the story ends. Like, excuse me? What? Why the weird... Like, that's not even a twist ending, that's just a non sequitur. And it just ends. Because I know that Goosebumps kind of had that thing where they liked to do the whole, oh, it's like an ambiguous ending. Did they make it out? Are they still alive? We don't know. That's up to the viewer to decide. I think like only a few of them had like pretty hard, definitive endings of, oh yeah, this is what happened to these characters. But that one is just so bizarre, because it's like, what are you trying to convey with this? Did he lay an alien egg? Did he just lay in a regular egg? Like, I don't... Mr. Stein, I need you to elaborate. My stupid poo brain can't... I don't know what you're going for with this. What did you mean by this? But yeah, anyways, to go all the way back, yeah, Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Haunted Mansion it's on like PS2, GameCube, Xbox. Great, like, spooky games for kids that are kind of like, you can use those as like an entree, a preamble to actual horror. There's nothing too intense or too scary in those, because same thing, the Rare devs, they had a kind of philosophy with Grabbed by the Ghoulies where they wanted to make it creepy but not scary, and I think they hit that like right nail on the head. Perfect, like, this is eerie and kind of kooky, but there's nothing in this game that will like outright scare kids, which I think is like perfect. Luigi's Mansion does a similar thing where it's like, this is creepy but not like, no kid is going to have like nightmares over this game. I feel like I should also ask, just completely forgot to when the raid started, but, how was everybody's day? Anybody do anything really cool, real neat, real fun? Or just anything, you know, just, you know, chat's the place to spill the beans. We're all listening here. So yeah, my day, you know, Friday night working at a game store, pretty busy most of the shift. There was like some downtime, but not like a terribly large amount. Weirdly enough, though, I guess, you know, now that I have like a bit of an audience to actually talk about this with, you would have thought that the Switch 2 launch would have been like the new hotness, the big like busy day. But surprisingly enough, the Switch 2 launch was actually a very moderate day. Like, it felt a little bit busier than normal, but not like... I was worried because I worked the launch day, but not like right at open. I was kind of coming in like after the fact, later on in the day. I was worried that it was just going to be like, you know, batten down the hatches, get in the trenches where we're at war. But surprisingly enough, it was a little bit busier than an average Thursday. It wasn't that bad. Weirdly enough, it was, there's a game that came out a little bit after the Switch 2 launch that I'm just, like... Sorry, what item was this? Yeah, I kind of want that. That's eluding me right now. But weirdly enough, that launch was busier than the Switch 2 launch. And I mean, frankly, I feel like it's just because the Switch 2 is just so damn expensive. Which, like, I don't mind the system being expensive, because especially, you know, having gotten my hands on the Switch 2, having my hands-on experience, in Canadian, it's like $700, like, after taxes. It may be $700, but it is, like, it is a $700 system. Like, you get the quality with it. It's actually shocking how good the build quality of the Switch 2 really is. So the system, I don't mind being so expensive. But goddamn, the games. The games are so expensive. Especially Mario Kart World. And, like, it's such a shame because Mario Kart World is really good. It's really, really fun. There is very clearly a lot of effort and a lot of love put into that game. But, God, 100 and, you know, before taxes, 110 Canadian for a Mario Kart game? Like, that's a lot. It just makes me think this, like, little clip, this video that I saw where it's, like, Bowser Jr. and Bowser Jr. is like, Dad, can we get the Switch too? And Bowser's just like, Junior, the games on that thing are gonna be $70. I'm a single parent. And that was just like the entire video, but it's like, yeah, that's kind of real. Where is the exit for this place? I think it's over here. And yeah, there's the whole controversy with the game key card stuff, and it's like, the Switch 2 is such a great system, but there's just so much ickiness surrounding it that it makes it so hard to, like, talk about it and be like, yeah, I'm so excited for this. Ew, what the hell are you? That's a new enemy. To be, like, you know, really excited and like, yeah, guys, it's the Switch 2! Because there's just like, yeah, it's the Switch 2, but it costs a lot, and the games are really expensive, and most of them you have to download, and it eats up all your storage space, and the memory cards are really fucking expensive, and it's just issue after issue after issue that's like just compounding over and over and over again, and it's like, eesh, this is rough. This is real rough. And I was worried that the system was going to be just like impossible to get your hands on, because that's what the PS5 and the Series X was like. So I was really worried that it was just going to be like impossible to get. But no, weirdly enough, the system, really easy to get your hands on. We're getting topped up like weekly on them. Nintendo's doing really good at keeping them in stock. of all the things that's really, really rare, it's the carrying case. For some reason, the official carrying case, which, as somebody who has the official carrying case, it sucks. It's not very good. For $55, I expected way better from it. It doesn't even have a handle. It doesn't have a... You're going to make a carrying case in the big year of 2025, and you're not going to put a handle on your damn carrying case? And man, the screen protector that came with it, dog water. I'm at a point where it's like, if a screen protector is not, what should I use? One enemy rank? Oh, they're all different rank. Oh, fuck it. Go, my Meg. Smite my enemies. If the screen protector isn't, like, tempered glass, what's the point? Like, literally, why would you even consider it? And the screen protector that came with the Switch 2, the carrying case was like this thin piece of plastic. Like, literal, like, plastic. Like the kind that's like the Switch cases, the soft part of the cases that like hold the cover art in the case, was made out of that. And it was so bad I peeled the thing off to put it on the screen, and it was so thin and lightweight that it like folded inwards on itself from its own weight and stuck together, and then when I peeled it apart it ruined the screen protector. I was like, oh well, guess I just don't get to use that now, so I had to order a proper one in. And yeah, it's so weird that the official carrying case, honest to God, is rarer than the system itself, for no good reason. Which, if there's anybody in the chat that does have a Switch 2, also go with like the multitudes of is there 2 of them on a rank? Yeah, go with any multitude of like the third-party cases. Guaranteed they are cheaper and also better than the official Nintendo one. I know I'm shit-talking Nintendo a lot, but for the uninitiated, if there's one thing I love more than Nintendo, it's criticizing and bad-mouthing Nintendo. God, I love doing that. I almost just, like, autopiloted and didn't heal Meg. That would have been really, really bad. Oh! Yeah, you know what? You're the only one that needs healing. Yeah, like, get, like, a D-brand case. Wait for Orsley to make a case. God, those band-aids were ginormous. Honestly, Orsley makes the best, like, third-party accessory carrying cases. Their screen protectors are, like, amazing. They make the best stuff. So much so that at my work, whenever people are like, hey, what carrying case should I get? Or what, X, Y, or Z should I get? If there was an Orsley option, I would usually tell people straight up, look, get this version of it. It is less expensive than the official one, and frankly, better. I don't think there's ever been an instance where it's like the Orsley version of a product wasn't... No, you know what? I take that back. I take it back. I just remembered a product that Orsley made that was not very good, and you are never going to believe this when I show it to you. Let me pull up a picture of it. Orsley... Yeah, here it is. Okay, let me save these really bad low-quality images. Okay, we got one out of the box and one in the box. So, does anybody remember when Nintendo, like a comedic joke, proposed, hey, we're gonna be doing VR on the Switch? And everybody, you know, unanimously was like, that seems ridiculous, how are you gonna do that? And they did like their Labo stuff. Well, Orsley saw a untapped market, and they decided to make, let me pull up the picture here, they decided to make a goddamn virtual reality headset for the Switch. Look at this. Like, do I even need to say anything about it? Like, it looks, It was dumb. It was really, really, really dumb. I bought one because I thought it was really, really funny, and with my staff discount, it was, like, super cheap. I didn't even fully put my Switch in it because it was so incredibly snug and such a tight, like, fit that, let me pull it up, like, out of the box. Oh, geez, can I even, like... This is very professional, as you may be able to tell. Let me... Here, let me... I'm working on it, I'm working on it! Here we go. Here it is, like, out of the box. I'm gonna, like, put it on, like, Linear's little, like, dome here. Yeah, there we go. So, it was such a snug fit that I did not feel comfortable closing the tabs on it because I was thoroughly convinced that it was going to shatter the screen of my Switch. I don't know if that's actually the case, if that, like, would happen if you tried to, like, close it in, but I did not want to risk it, so I didn't put my Switch into that. So, I take it back. Orsley did make a singular bad product, and it was that. Not even necessarily because it's, like, bad or, like, horrible, but, like, because it's just so dumb and not good. Because what games on Switch even support VR? I think Mario Odyssey does, and it's bad. Breath of the Wild does, I think, and guess what? It was bad. I remember, Smash Brothers did, and 3 for 3, guess what? It was bad. Literally all it was you could watch replays in, like, first person using the VR, but it, like, looked really bad, and it was all fisheye lensed, and it was, like, just not not good. Nintendo has such a way with, like, doing weird, like, gimmicky bullshit with their games. I just realized I have not been unlocking any of Linear's. Oh yeah, 9,999. Yeah, I could have been, Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I should have been unlocking those. Do I have anything else? Yeah, that's pretty good too. Yeah, Nintendo has this weird history of doing just, like, weird, gimmicky ideas with their systems. Having ideas in place, but never really following through on them. Like, you know, going back to the Switch again. Anybody remember that the Switch 1 had, like, a camera on it? That, like, nothing ever used? And just, like, it was just there? Or the Joy-Cons had the AR sensor on the bottom, and again, like, nothing ever used it. I think 1-2 Switch, my condolences if you bought 1-2 Switch, that used it. And then, I know WarioWare Move It used it, because that game is, like, very fresh in my mind, because that came out, like, a year and a half ago, and it was pretty good. It was basically just WarioWare Smooth Moves, but just on the Switch, basically. That game used the AR sensor for some of the mini games. The, like, Joy-Con hand poses, I think they were called in the game. So that game used it, and then, like, I don't think anything else, really. Maybe, like, some weird third-party unknown game here and there would use it. Like, that's it. Another weird feature of the Switch that I feel like never gets brought up, because I think Breath of the Wild used it, and then Animal Crossing used it. But on the right Joy-Con, the home menu button, if you look at it, it has like a sort of translucent plastic ring around it, and that's because games that could send you notifications that would light up and blink blue. But, like, no game ever utilized that. And I think Animal Crossing's implementation was, like, really limited, and I think you may have had to turn it on in the game for it to even work, so, like, nobody knows about it there. And And it's also kind of like on the Super Nintendo, the serial port on the bottom of the Super Nintendo that went completely unused. Why are you all attacking Linear? Please leave her alone. Who's attacking next? You, the rat? Be gone. Smite my enemies. But yeah, serial port on the bottom of the Super Nintendo that I'm pretty sure just went completely unused, and they never did anything with, because that was supposed to have the Nintendo PlayStation on there when Sony and Nintendo were, you know, in bed with one another to make a competitor. Yeah, as a competitor to the Sega CD, they wanted to do that, but then Nintendo, I guess, reread the terms and conditions, the contract they were going to sign with Sony, and in it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we can do like whatever we want with your characters. And Nintendo, just like today, super protective of their IPs, so when they saw that, they were like, yeah, go fuck yourself. So, you know, Nintendo saved you know, a couple dollars, booted Sony out, and inadvertently made arguably their biggest competitor ever, that they killed their previous competitor and has been basically neck and neck with them ever since. But thank God they didn't sign that contract, right? So yeah, there was going to be a Nintendo PlayStation, which is just such a weird thing to come out of my mouth. It doesn't feel right. And it's so weird because there's like a prototype unit that's like floating out there like in the wild, and the controller is just a standard like Famicom, or I guess a European Super Nintendo controller, but it has the Sony logo on it, like just, you know, Sony Pictures Entertainment. It has that on the controller, and it's just such a weird thing to see. Speaking of weird controllers that have Sony's logo on them that they have no business having on, let me pull this up. These only ever released in Japan, and they are so weird to look at. But Sega released these. I believe they did like these bundles where you could get them with like a game that Sega had made. I think it was like Virtua Fighter. There may have been a Nights into Dreams game on PS2 in Japan, but they made this. Oh, it's tiny. Look at that. It's a Sega Saturn controller with the PlayStation logo on it. And that is so just weird. It feels weird. It feels dirty. Like, oh, it's bizarre. To, you know, have the logo of like the company that effectively put the nail in the coffin in your company on like your product. It's just it's so weird. Bridging that again reminds me, you know, with older video games, just like the wild west of what was and wasn't allowed was when in non-television, ColecoVision had that expansion that you could get for the ColecoVision that would allow you to play Atari games on the ColecoVision. Quite literally a case of, if you can't beat them, join them. And it's so weird to think that that was just like okay, that they were just able to do that. If that happened nowadays, where like let's say like Sony released an adapter for the PS5 that was like a little USB like cartridge slot that let you play Nintendo Switch games, and they just didn't get the okay from Nintendo to do that. Firstly, I'm pretty sure Nintendo would literally rather torch their entire company before letting another company get cozy with any of their like IPs or their products, there, you know, to quote the video game nerd, there would be lawsuits out the ass. Like, it's so weird that they just let that happen. I guess maybe Atari just viewed it as like, oh, you know, we're just going to make more sales from this effectively. Like, hey, Coleco, thanks for just upping our revenue, I guess. I guess in a kind of weird roundabout way, Microsoft is kind of doing the same with like putting a lot of their previously just, you know, Xbox exclusive games on the other platforms. It's, you know, working in a game store, seeing like, oh, we can do pre-orders for Gears of War on PS5. It's so... And again, as like a pretty lifelong Xbox fan, somebody who really, really liked Xbox most of their life, it feels dirty watching Gears of War come out on PS5. I'm glad it's on PS5. It's awesome that more people are getting to experience these, like, genuinely really good games. But there's just something a little weird about it. It's like, even if a game isn't exclusive to a platform, some series just have this kind of, how would I put it, a feel to them, where they kind of feel more at home on a system more than the other ones. Like, I think, yeah, I mentioned the series earlier, Time Splitters. Time Splitters feels like a PlayStation series. It feels that way because, you know, Time Splitters 1 was exclusive on the PS2. At first, it was, you know, launch title for the PS1, so it inherently just kind of has that, what's it called? It's got that PlayStation feel inherently to it. So even though it was, you know, Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect were both on the Xbox and the GameCube, and even I, like, experienced Time Splitters on the Xbox instead of on PlayStation initially, those games just always feel like PlayStation games to me. Same as Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is very PlayStation to me, and Yakuza. And again, I think it's because they got their start on that platform. So whenever I see something like, oh god, what was it? It was when Shin Megami Tensei first came to the Xbox with SMT5 Vengeance. It was so weird seeing the Xbox logo above Shin Megami Tensei. There was just something that just didn't feel right about it, but because of that, I bought it on the Series X, because I was like, this feels dirty and weird. Also, Persona. Seeing Persona 5 on the Xbox is bizarre to me. Bizarre 2 is Lego Horizon Adventures on the Switch. There's something real fucked up about seeing PlayStation Studios logo on a Switch box. Or, MLB The Show, which, side tangent too, I think it's so weird that the premiere, the best baseball game that you could get, was exclusively on PlayStation for, like, the longest time. Couldn't get it on, you know, when did MLB The Show start? It was, like, PS2 era, so, you know, couldn't get it on GameCube, couldn't get it on original Xbox, couldn't get it on Wii, couldn't get it on 360, couldn't get it on, like, Xbox One or Switch for the longest time of their lifespan. But eventually, Sony was like, you know what? Fuck it. MLB The Show on Xbox and Switch, and it looks a little weird. It looks very bizarre. Ooh. What is that? Actually, I'm gonna hold on to those. Get rid of that. Get rid of Sticky Ball too. What are these? Are these for you? No? Is it equipment? Ooh. That seems like it'll be good. Whoa. That is a big jump in attack. That's a rough hit to defense, but like, man, that, I guess this reduces all types of damage, so maybe it's like lower defense stat, but like, you just get like a flat damage mitigation. Yeah, I'm equipping that. That is really, really good. Yeah. It looks like I'm bad at this, but the platforming is just kind of janky in this. Thankfully, there's not a whole lot of it. Yeah, floor 15, I'm assuming the boss will be on either floor 20 or floor 25. I remember initially I was like, oh, I'm not going to do too terribly long of a stream. It'll be a real chill one, and then, you know, B-flat and cousin with the raid, the unexpected raid, and I'm like, oh, shit, I actually have an audience for once. I need to actually, like, actually do stuff. I will say, the various streams of, broadcasting to a humble viewer base of one person, that person being, I'm pretty sure, was just myself, being counted as a viewer. The practice of just talking to nobody has definitely, I think, paid off. What do I have? Are you for Greek? Okay. Let me, like, use some of these up. I do not need all these. That's good. I'll save that for the next floor. I think I already use a thermo search, but, I mean, never hurts to be, you know, safe. Can you unhand that chest? Thank you. Breast protector. Breast protector is the best protector. I can only assume that's for you. No? It's for you? No. Who's that for? Is it for you? Oh, it is. Nah, I want the offense. Is there more stuff? Oh, yeah, that's just an upgrade through and through. Do you have anything better? No. But that. No. I'm just gonna scoot past you. Yippee! Right, I didn't use an item search, I just used the, trap search. I was... What is that? Ooh! Yeah, I'll hold on to that. Oh! Yeah, I'll explore a bit more. Yeah, I was concerned. I was like, is there really just no items on the floor, like, at all? Is this just like a wash? But nah. No, I don't want to leave. Yeah, that one's good, okay. I almost just walked, like, right into that. Here, let me fight you. So what level are these guys at? 49. I think I'm at, like, level 48? It's like, I should be good. is the issue that, like, when I guess milk a topic for all that I can, and then I have, like, no way of, like, bridging off of it, I'm just like, oh god, what do I talk about now? Where do I go from here? Right, yeah, she has an AoE, I forgot about that. Damn, who would have thought that, like, when you actually look at, like, the characters... Oh, he's weak to that, okay. You know, when you look at, like, you know, your character's abilities, you actually remember, hey, some of these are more than just run up and punch them. Ooh, nice. As I can talk about this, yeah, with this game, when I was playing it blind, I was like, damn, this is so good. Surely the second game has got to be, like, really expensive, right? Because, you know, it's like, I just walked right into that. You know, whenever there's, like, a game that's like, hey, this is, like, really good, underrated gem. Oh, it got a sequel. Usually it's really, really expensive, but shockingly enough, wasn't. Is, you know, I think double the price of this one. It was, like, $70 in, like, our, item inventory system, so I was like, oh, I'll put myself down for that. And then I learned afterwards that there was I believe it was like a proper sequel, but it has an abridged version of the first two games as like the prologue starter of it on the GameCube, and I was like, oh god, RPG on the GameCube. Not a lot of people talk about it. This has got to be really expensive, right? And shockingly enough, no, it's not terribly bad, and it's kind of shocking because what is Brontosaurus Steel? Damn. Okay, yeah, I'll hold on to that too. You know, GameCube especially. Whenever it says Nintendo, I just walked right into that. I was literally looking at it, and I just walked just walked right into it. I didn't walk into that one. Give me the initiative. But yeah, GameCube. If it says GameCube, it has what I call the Nintendo tax on it, because like it's just inherently like people want it. Even on the GameCube especially, you'll get like, you know, third-party license games that are like, you know, let's say like on the PS2, it's like $20 on that, $20 on Xbox as well. And then you go to the GameCube version, and it's just arbitrarily like $50 for no reason, and it's just because it says GameCube. It's such a shame because like it's such a shame that the GameCube didn't do well in its time, because from like a purely hardware standpoint, the GameCube actually was the strongest system of the time. Like, it had really good specs on it, but the issue was Nintendo being Nintendo decided to just kneecap the shit out of the system for no good reason by making the discs, the little mini ones, just because, if I recall correctly, in the like press conference investor meeting, they're like, oh, these discs are really, really hard to pirate and really hard to make reproductions of, which, you know, for investors, hey, that's great. Oh, they're both on different lines. Hey, you know, that's great. Good. That sucks for literally everybody else, consumers and developers, because so many games that should have ran better or looked better or just been better got kneecapped really, really badly by that. Prime example. Again, another one of my favorite games of all time. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Honestly, I mean, aside from the arcade version, right? But who the hell has the money to drop on like a whole arcade unit? The best home console version of that game is probably the original Xbox version. It's closest in the like hardware to the arcade version, visually looks good, runs good, sounds good, no big major issues with it. I wouldn't mind that, actually. Yeah, you take that. Yeah, looks good, sounds good. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Has all the content all, you know, intact. And it's, I think, the second most expensive version of the game. The PS2 version would be pretty good, but I used the wrong thing. Couple big issues with it. One, Gauntlet is best experienced with 4 people. Bit of a, you know, pun, a good one. On the back of the box it says the best in console 4 play. Like 4, number 4 play. I never got that joke when I was a kid. It seemed very random to me. Now that, like, I'm an adult, I get what they were going for. What, that was a chickadee fossil? I mean, yeah, I probably could have put the 2 and 2 together on that. Let's see, exit. I'll come back for you later. But yeah. In order to play it 4-player, you need the multi-tap. So already, Gauntlet restricted to 2 players. Like, it's fine, but you really just... I'm now realizing how, like, weird that enemy's design is. I thought it was like a scorpion. I'm now seeing it's like lips on legs. It's icky, weird. You know, Gauntlet is best experienced with 4 players. 2 players is fine, but it's not ideal. And if I recall correctly, the PS2 version of that game doesn't have the item inventory system, which is just such a weird thing to axe. I think all the levels are intact, but, you know, you're missing such a big part of the game that just feels kind of, like, gimped because of that. And then you get the GameCube version, which, for some reason, is the most expensive, and I say for some reason because that bitch runs at, like, 10 frames per second max at all times. And it can go below that, and when it goes below that, oh boy, you really feel it. It is rough to play. It does not feel very good. And in early versions of the game, the bosses they just don't have their health bar. You know, that really crucial piece of information, because bosses in Gauntlet Dark Legacy go on for a pretty long time, and it's probably a really good thing to know how much health is left so you can make informed gameplay decisions. Yeah, there's just none of that. They just dropped it. I don't think that was intentional. I think it was due to a bug, but later versions of the game have the health bar retained, and it makes trying to, again, if you're for some reason buying it on GameCube, it makes knowing what version of the game you're going to get really hard until it's too late, because you gotta do the entire, like, first segment of the game, the Poisoned Fields, I think it's called, Forsaken Village. I can't remember what exactly off the top of my head it's called, but the Necromancer, like, dead world, the first area. You gotta go through, like, all of that, do everything, then get to the Lich boss at the end, and you'll know what version of the game you have based on does he have the health bar or not. And you definitely want the version where you have the health bars, otherwise, you know, are you 90% of the way through his health bar? Are you 50%? Are you 5%? I don't know. Hope you know how much damage you're doing and how much health this thing has internally, otherwise you're just... Ooh, I want another one of those. Otherwise you're just kind of up the creek without a paddle. And it's like, sucks to suck. Just lost information. I literally said earlier that I was going to hold on to those. I am just like... I am so bad for, like, just autopiloting sometimes whenever I'm playing games where it's just like, you know, as I always say, the lights are on but nobody's home. Ooh, yeah, I can use that. Yeah. Probably good to just go up to the next floor now. Yes. What is here? I'm getting so many chickadee fossils. Bulletproof vest. Goddamn, yeah. Give me that. I do not need 3 pairs of jungle boots. Get out of here. Alright, what, iron plated vest. Who can wear this? Can you wear this? You cannot. Can you wear this? You cannot. Can you wear this? Okay, you can. Damn, that's a really big bump in defense. Do I want the offense or the defense? Because I actually don't know if this is one of those games where it's like, oh, if like the main character goes down in battle, effectively everybody dies in battle. Because I've only ever had one full team wipe in this. No, wait, yeah, yes, yeah, one team wipe, and Meg was the last one to go down. So I don't know if that's the case. I mean, at the same time, you could argue a preemptive defense is the best defense. Just kill them before they can harm you, and you effectively heal yourself. It's like it's been so long since I've played any, like, proper Dungeons and Dragons, but, it's the one class, the Cleric. I don't know if it's changed it at all, but when I played 5e, I know that, like, healing was it was really rough trying to be, like, a pure healer support type of class, because all the healing spells in the game you would get out damaged every single time. So I remember my DM, him telling me that there's a strategy just called preemptive healing, which is kill the enemies before they harm your teammates, and there, you effectively healed them. It's the same joke that I always make: the best CC, the best crowd control, is just death. That's the longest stun in any game that you can possibly imagine. Do I need to... Yeah, I should probably heal you. God, Meg has, like, no FP. I'm using way too many of those moves. Ah, speaking of D&D, we're back. We're back, baby. We're bridging from topic to topic. If anybody in chat likes, like, first-person dungeon crawler type of games, I have a big recommendation. It's on, of all things, the 3DO, the Panasonic 3DO, if anybody knows what that is. And it's called Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Slayer. That game fucks incredibly hard. That is a really good and really, really fun game. I believe you can actually get it on My Abandonware now, because, you know, it was on the goddamn 3DO. Do you think there's anybody that bothered to renew the trademark copyright for Slayer on the 3DO? Do you think anybody even bothered to copyright 3DO after the Panasonic 3DO discontinued? But that game is really, really good. It's first-person dungeon crawler, not grid-based, but, like, you know, kind of in that same vein, and the cool gimmick about it, despite being released in, like, you know, mid-90s, was that every time you played it, not only was your character, you know, you'd pick your class, pick your race, I'm pretty sure you could like distribute your stat points, or you could just be, the game could just be like, hey, do this for me. I have a stupid poo brain and I don't know what I'm doing, which I definitely, when I first played it, had a stupid poo brain and didn't know what I was doing, and the computer made character was way better than the character that I made. I actually got past the first floor with the ooh, I want that. I got past the first floor with the character I didn't make. And sorry, the upgrade kit like completely like derailed my train of thought. Yeah, the floors, like the whole dungeons, everything you do, enemy placement, item spawns, some of the item stats are all completely randomized every single time, and it makes for really engaging, really replayable like gameplay. Because I got it from my work, because there was a gentleman that came in, had a complete in-box 3DO, tons of 3DO games. I actually ended up getting a couple more off him after they like got put into our system, went through our warehouse, and went through testing and everything. I was like, hey, can you guys send those to my location? I'd like to purchase them. Made sure no other customers are on the waitlist first. We approved, sent them my way, got them. And I remember when we were doing the trade-in, he told me, he was like, yeah, when I was about your age back in the 90s, he was like, I was really big. He's like, yeah, I'm still big into D&D, but I was really big into D&D. And he got that game with his 3DO, and he was like, man, I must have put like a couple thousand hours into this game. Just anytime I had like any spare downtime, summer vacations, weekends, just anything like that, I would just be playing that game. And I was like, damn, that sounds really good. This isn't terribly expensive because it's the 3DO. Aside from me, who the hell cares about the 3DO? So I put myself down for it, got it, played it the night that I bought it, and I was like, damn, yeah, I could see how you could put like thousands of hours into this game. This is really, really, really good. I thought I was way higher level than that. I do want that. I like do not use these like at all. Yeah, I get. Please. There we go. But yeah, 3DO Slayer. If you enjoy like first-person dungeon-based, what's the term I'm thinking of? First-person dungeon crawler games with like really good traditional like pen and paper RPG mechanics, definitely give that game a shot. In fact, I'm probably going to play it at some point on the stream. When? I don't know. At some point. I guess, again, since I have like an actual audience, probably a good time to say what I'm all about. I stream every other night, and my whole thing is I just pick a game, and I just play through all of it from beginning to end, through the course of like multiple streams, upload all the VODs onto like a VOD channel, so if you miss a stream, or if you are a new viewer, wants to see some of the past stuff, that's always there, just for your convenience. And yeah, I don't edit the VODs at all. It's just raw ass. I just record them locally, throw them up on YouTube. I'm not paying for that bandwidth on YouTube. Google is. Here, take my 5.5 hour long VOD. That's not my issue. That's yours, Google. You bought this money pit. And yeah, I just keep on going until I finish a game. Once I finish it, on to the next game, and I need to like heal up. I'm gonna yeah, I play a game to completion. Once I'm done, alright, on to the next game. My only, I guess, like, rules that I have for myself, my self-imposed rules are, I can't do the same console twice in a row, and I can't do the same genre twice in a row. Firstly, for variety's sake, and just keeping things kind of interesting, and also for my own sake, because, man, I love RPGs, love JRPGs, but it is the type of genre where it's like, if I play 2 of them in a row, I am going to get, like, really, really burnt out, and I'm just gonna be, like, onto the second part of, like, the second game, and I'm just like, like, just level grinding, so it's like, if I do a JRPG, hey, I'll do, like, an adventure game next, or I'll do, like, a classic shooter or something, since RPG is such a broad genre. Like this is an RPG, but this is like a mystery dungeon RPG, so it's like, well, if I do this, can I play, I don't know, Ark the Lad next? That's an RPG, but it's a very different type of RPG. But when you get to, like, such broad generalizations like that, you kind of start to get into the semantics. Just straight up grenades. Just plain ass grenades. I'm curious what those do. I'm sure that it's literally just a pull the pin, big AoE damage, but I'm curious because this game has surprised me before. What are you? Who would have thought? Pull the pin, big AoE fire damage. Right on the tin. Yo, no bullshit. Simple. Straight to the point. A game I would love to stream. Maybe next? Because I picked it up today is, another just, certified classic from the original Xbox is, Blinx the Time Sweeper. If any of you have ever played Blinx the Time Sweeper, that game is really good, but also really sucks at the same time. It has a really cool idea, really interesting, I would use, execution, but had so many just, like, weird issues where it's like, why did you decide this would be, like, a good mechanic for the game? Like, the whole vacuum upgrade system in that game just, like, sucks. It's really bad. And the game is, like, really bizarrely really, really hard. Like, early on it's fine, but the further you get in the game, it gets really, really hard. And the levels get really, really long. Like, I remember some going on for, like, an hour or more at a time. And if you lose at, like, the end of that level, tough. Go back to the beginning, idiot. You gotta redo all of it. Just do it all. Play it again, son. But I learned that the Platinum Hits version of the game, weirdly enough, is, like, easier than the original release. They rebalanced a ton of the enemies, just straight up removed a lot of the enemies. And they mainly made it easier so that way, it is supposed to be a kid's game. I say kids game in quotation marks. I'm a firm believer that made for kids doesn't mean only for kids. But, I digress. It's intended for a younger audience. If you want Blinx to be your console mascot, it would probably be a good idea to have that audience actually be able to finish and play your game and, like, have a good time. And, around that time, too, they were going to introduce the Platinum Family Hits, which the only games I can think of off the top of my head that are blessed enough to have that moniker are Blinx the Time Sweeper, Shrek 2, Shark Tale, I think Fusion Frenzy had it, and then, oh geez, I better... Yeah, you use this. What else? I think Sonic Mega Collection Plus, I think it was called. That also got the Family Hits moniker. Sonic Heroes, I think, also did. So, just by the games that are offered on display, some real, just, high quality enjoyment. Very premium. When I think, like, slop games, Shark Tale comes to mind. Oh, actually, you know what? One of my absolute favorite, just, like, slop, no effort games that has ever been made that I love so much is Garfield Kart. Furious Racing, I believe the subtitle is. That game is the most, like, cynical, soulless game I have ever played in my entire life. I wholeheartedly do not believe that there is a single unique asset in that entire game except for, like, the Garfield characters. But man, there's just something about that game that just hits really, really differently. There's something that's like, it just like, how do I put it? Not like entrancing, but it's just so like, you play it and it like, it just kind of siphons the life out of you. And like, it makes you feel empty, but you feel compelled to just keep playing. The multiplayer on that though is where that's where like the real shit is. Because you can get like a full lobby of like, I think it's like 12 people. It's like the standard for like a go-kart racing game. You get 12 people all in one lobby, Garfield karting it up, and again, the game, you know, not going to pretend like it's, you know, fine dining. Game sucks, bad, but it's really, really, really fun to play with friends because of just how, like, again, sometimes you just gotta turn your brain off and just enjoy the slop. On the flip side, though, there's Garfield Lasagna Party, which is, boy, I bet you can't guess what game that is heavily inspired by. That's right, Mario Party, and it's really, same thing, not good, but whereas, like, Garfield Kart is, like, endearingly bad, Lasagna Party is just, like, bad. It just leaves you feeling just, like, hollow and empty, but not the fun kind of hollow and empty like Garfield Kart does. It's more the, like, why did I spend $49.99 on this? Because, oh my god, Meg is almost dead. Do I have any healing items? I don't. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with you. I just walked right into it. I have nobody to blame but myself. That's just on me. I'm just gonna like hug the wall to make sure I don't step on any more. You know, I could always just look before stepping. That's always an option too. Right, Lasagna Party. I remember leading up to that game coming out, because I like Garfield Kart so much. I like, not like literally. What the hell is Fight 182? I feel like that's a reference to something, and I'm just not getting it. That's a really good item, but I feel like that's referencing something that I'm just not getting. No, I'm gonna fight you so I can heal. But yeah, Lasagna Party. I didn't like... Oh, Jesus, please nobody hit Meg. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Am I gonna... Is it okay? Oh, thank God. Okay, Meg can just... Okay, yeah, he can just die. That's fine. Whatever. Oh, God. I like tensed up there for a second. I wasn't sure. Like, it was just gonna be like, Back to hometown with you. I need to... Okay. We are good. Crisis averted. Yeah, not literally harassed our stock guy, but I just was constantly emailing and being like, where's my lasagna party? Where's my lasagna party, damn it? Run me my lasagna party, because it, like, launch day had come and passed, and we hadn't gotten it, because, of course, me being the, like, absolute bastard that I am, I wanted to get it on the Xbox Series X, and Xbox stuff doesn't really sell super well. Just, I'll be frank, in general, but in our company especially, like, Xbox does not make up a very big margin of profits. So whenever our stock guy needs to get games for the platforms, he can't just, like, buy a single copy of a game. He has to get, like, a whole case of this game, like, in order of, like, 30 games or more. And I was told by somebody who worked at, oh, jeez, this is gonna be dark. Somebody who worked at, you know, the warehouse side of things, they're like, yeah, I won't say their names, you know, just for price. They're like, yeah, you know, stock guy was like, man, who the hell keeps on pre-ordering Xbox games, like, at our stores? Man, I shouldn't even, like, we shouldn't even be stocking Xbox games. They don't sell at all. This is, like, ridiculous. And the, like, CEO boss of the company was like, hey, I like my Series X. I use it for Netflix. And I guess that kind of just quelled him and was like, you know, basically just, hey, or order the damn games. So I harassed our stock guy to, I wasn't harassing him. I was harassing our manager to ask him, hey, where's the lasagna party? We have a pre-order for this. Where is it? And I guess I basically just did it enough where eventually he managed to get steel parts. What is that? Is this for you? Ah, that's really ambiguous. I'll just keep it as is. You know, he finally managed to, like, secure a singular copy for, you know, this mystery pre-order at my location. So I bought it, and it sucked. Badly. Like, really badly. I played it maybe twice, and then, like, never again, and I just think about so much about how there was all this just strife, and, like, everything that happened, all because of this stupid goddamn Garfield game, and then I ended up just being like, it's whatever, and I played it, like, twice. I still have it, just in case if, for whatever just inane, stupid reason, I want to go back to it, but, like, it's just, I think its worst issue is that it's boring. Like, I think why Garfield Kart is so fun and entertaining is because, like, it's not boring. It's really weirdly, you know, as I said earlier, like, entrancing. You want to keep on playing to just see what weird stages you're gonna come up on. Whereas Lasagna Party is just like, it's, like, not terrible, but it's also not good. It's just so middle of the road. I think that's, like, the worst that a game can be, because, like, if you make a game and it's really, really, really good, people will, you know, remember it for years and years to come. There's a reason why we still remember games like, you know, Ocarina of Time, for instance. It'll be pretty hard-pressed to find somebody that's like, yeah, that's a bad game, that's not a good game. Pretty generally agreed upon. Like, you know, even somebody like me who doesn't... Not that I don't like Zelda, I've just never been able to get into Zelda, really. Like, even as somebody like me who isn't into Zelda that much, even I could be like, yeah, Ocarina of Time, good game. There's a reason why it's so critically acclaimed. People remember you forever. But if you make a bad game, like, you know, let's say, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, people will make fun of it and joke about it for years. You'll be remembered. But a game that's just boring, you just kind of get forgotten. I didn't see that enemy inside the chest. And, like, honestly, I kind of feel like that's just, like, kind of the worst thing you can be, is just plain. Because it's like, yeah, you know, it's just kind of mediocre. It just kind of gets, like, forgotten by the wayside, because especially, like, looking through lists of, like, you know, oh, every North American PS1 game, or every North American Sega Saturn game, there's so many games, especially for, like, PS1. PS1 had a massive library, and I was looking through, like, all these games, and I'm just thinking about where I'm like, when was the last time somebody played one of these games? When was the last time somebody thought about one of these games? It's just kind of one of those things where, like, you just kind of think about it and you're like, huh. Does anybody remember these? I get that, like, a lot, like, especially because, again, I like the original Xbox so much. There's so many games on there that are, like, just these weird, obscure games that I feel like a lot of people don't really remember. What item? Yeah, I want that. I can drop you. You know, a game that I love on the original Xbox, but is definitely pretty rough around the edges, just by virtue of being I'm pretty sure it was a launch title, or at the very least a launch window, like very close to the launch window of it, was Mad Dash Racing. Really cool idea for a game. It's an on-foot racer. The only other one I can think of is Sonic R on the Saturn. And then there was this other game that I thought that was a good one to step on. Never mind. I need to get out of here. It's this game on the PS1 that I can't remember what it's called. But that also is like an on-foot racer where you play as, like, animal people. I just walked right into that. I haven't played that one, so I can't, like, make a judgment on it. Oh, these enemies are so fast. I almost feel like I'm getting out-leveled at this point. I feel like I may need to, like, leave the dungeon, come back, and, like, level grind. I was worried at the beginning that I had out-leveled this point in the game, but no, I actually think it's the opposite. I think I'm actually, like, falling behind at this point. Damn, it's almost midnight? It's like 11:38 where I'm at. Honestly, I think what I might do is, next opportunity to leave the dungeon, I think I might leave, sell a ton of stuff, upgrade some stuff, and then I might just be done for the night, honestly. Question is, unless 19th floor, is the next one going to be the boss floor? I mean, frankly, it'd be... Oh, it's not the boss floor. Okay, yeah, I think it'll be on, like, floor 25. That's rough. I'm gonna use this so I can kind of just get to the floor easy. And a trap search. Wow, a whole one trap on this floor. Really bringing out the big guns. That's actually kind of convenient, because the floor, or the dungeon, like, escape little thing, the little, like, circle, shows up as a treasure. Yeah, actually, you know what, that shape there, I think that usually, in clusters of 3, that usually is, like, an escape little platform. Boy, I hope it's the case. Because I forgot, but, damn, I forgot, but, I never made, dinner tonight. I kind of just got home from work, and then just immediately... Oh? Oh, worm? I feel like you don't use the term legendary without it being good. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, you want that? Yeah. That's pretty damn good, I think. That's a big get. That's a real big get. As I was saying before that, geez, what was I saying before that? Okay, that happens a lot, I find. Something big happens, and it just completely cleans my mind of what I was talking about. That's nice. You can't hear it right now, but the, like, gears are, like, turning in my head. And the steam, the smoke is coming out of the ears. Right. I never made, like, dinner. Oh, shit! This is actually the boss floor. I kind of want to attempt this. I'm absolutely going to save beforehand, because fun fact about this game, if you die on this floor, any other floor, because let's see how much progress I would lose. So 12 hours, 19 minutes. About 3 hours worth. On every other floor. Yeah, I just need to make sure like it did save properly. Okay. Okay, we are good. We are good. Any other floor, the society comes and rescues you, you pay a fee, and you lose, like, all of your items. But, you don't lose progress. On this floor, though, if you die, tough. Go back to the last save file. Ew. What is that? A delicious meal. That's what I wish I had right now. Oh. Ew. Huh. Alright, so... Oh! Oh, shit! Yeah. Well... I'll bring you back. Youch, I hope that isn't the power of every attack it's going to do, because that's, that will just one-shot all of us. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna stim the hell out of you. I'm just gonna keep on pumping you full of stats. Oh, is the gimmick if somebody's in front, they get eaten? If that's all that it does, I can kind of... I can work around that. You move back. I can't have you die. Yeah, just keep on pumping damage into you, I guess. Yeah, that was good damage. Oh, it's whoever's closest. Okay. Oh, I probably should have mentioned this. I think I mentioned it way earlier, but I'm playing this like completely blind, so it's like... I don't know how anything works. Ooh! That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on. I feel like that's the best course of action. That did no damage. Oh god. Oh jeez. And I have no FP left. You know, guys, I think this is what we might call a little bit of a lost cause, maybe. May have been a good idea to just go back to town, maybe. That's rough. Yeah, I have like no FP. This you were doing piddly damage. That's insane. Okay, I think the course of action is to just keep Meg alive. Never mind. I was gonna say keep him alive and just flame punch every chance I get. That ain't gonna work. But god damn it, you can't say I'm not gonna try. What is the best course of action? Again, I feel like just keep Meg alive as best I can. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I can do. God, the other boss went way better than this. Oh. I'm not talking too terribly much because I'm like locking in. I'm like really trying to like think like defensively. Chuck it out. I mean, that's better damage than what she was doing before. I feel like anything... Not bad. I mean, I might as well use specials there. I feel like they're going to do more damage than just the regular. That did barely any more damage. Also, as much as I like Pepper, assuming I don't survive this, I may... on next stream, drop her in favor of a character that does have flame. Oh, I forgot she had that. Drop her in favor of somebody that does have, like, fire damage, like Chain, and then come back to this. How much will this do? I'm kind of just like experimenting at this point, just to see what works. I mean, I feel like cumulatively that's just more damage than she would do in like a couple turns. I don't want to just, like, immediately just be like, yeah, this isn't worth it, like, give up, like, restart, because, like, I don't know, maybe through some just sheer force of dumb luck and will, I say as Pepper dies, maybe somehow I can manage to do this, like, maybe? What are you doing? Oh! God! I don't know how to describe it. But somehow, him healing all of that back did more damage to me personally than any of his damaging abilities has done to the characters. That, like, hit me on a, like, psychological level. I mean, I guess I'm doing okay basic attack damage, but, like... Oh, I think I would have rather him just done a ton of damage instead. Knowing he can, like, heal up is... You ever play a game where, like, the boss... just the game does, like, psychological damage to you on top of, like, the in-game damage? Cool, I undid his one ability. Actually, wait, he's moving kind of slow. Am I doing it? Am I actually going to do it? Hold on. Hold on. Let him cook. Let him cook. Him being me. Let me cook. We may... This may work after all. Pepper is still gonna be dead, but we may do this. Oh, please don't kill Meg. If Meg dies, then it's all over. Ooh. That one kind of hurt. Please don't target Meg. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay, we're still in this. I didn't hear no... I didn't hear no bell. Sorry, I'm, like, mentally drained after, like, almost losing Meg. Pepper, I need you to... Oh, you... fucker. Okay, I know I'm at least close. We're close. We're so damn close. Closer by 9-inch nails. I feel like I can do this. Pepper might just go down from this. Oh. They're both paralyzed. Okay, good. Okay, okay. We're back in it. Hit. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Pepper, you served your purpose. I am, like, so tensed up right now. I'm gonna assume this heals more. I need this to heal more. Okay, we're back at it. Please don't delicious meal. Oh, you delicious mealed. Okay. Okay, the sacrificial lamb has been taken. Meg, I need you to hit the yoinky sploinky. I need... Meg, I need you. Meg, I need you to do this. I need you to hit the home run, buddy. Oh! Oh, shit! He did it! He fucking hit the whip and the nay-nay! Damn! Damn! Hey guys, we did it! We did it! Yeah! Why aren't you guys getting up? Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Oh, that's awesome. Look at this blue rose. I bet Nina would love it. Now I finished my assignment. It was hard. Yeah, you're damn right it was, but at least I finished my assignment. Thank goodness, I think if I stayed too long, fungus would start growing on me. Okay, now let's go back to the society. Woof. That was scuffed as hell. Oh god, okay. Oh, take a breather, take a stretch. Big stretchies. You did it! You cleared the ruins. Congratulations! The curator and Mr. Knopp said they're indebted to you for all the artifacts you've got from ancient civilizations. So I'm having fun on adventures, and I'm also helping out the society? That's killing two birds with one stone. By the way, I calculated your prize money for this adventure, and it comes out to about 40,000 big bombo-clat bucks. God damn! I'll just take 6,000, the rest is all Meg's share. Alright. Cool, I'm fine with that. Alright, I'll use Meg's share to repay what you owe. That still leaves you in debt. Since it wouldn't be fair to Meg to use all of his share to repay the Launcher family's debt, I'll just take... Oh, that's a lot. 27,200 to apply to your outstanding debt. That leaves you with a remainder of 6,800, Meg. I had so much fun on your adventure, Meg. Oh, did ya? I hope you invite me again. Well, see you around. Ciao. God, I'm so tired I didn't even do the voice I've been doing for her. I'm not tired, but just like... just stretched out from that. Hey Meg, did you know that Pepper has a lot of admirers in the society too? She's popular at the society office in this town, but I heard she's all the rage at the office on the continent. I hear there's even a Pepper fan club. Isn't that incredible? She's smart, beautiful, and I even hear she can hold her liquor. I admire her so much. The last one you mentioned, liquor? What does that have to do with anything? The society is closed for the day. We look forward to do business with you again. Oh, so you're just not going to answer. Okay. Alright. Do I need a like? Something important, but yeah, just appraise my stuff. I won't forget, buy flowers and kids as gifts. Kid as a gift? Give a kid as a present? What are you saying, Meg? What are you all read about? Oh, nothing. More importantly, don't you have something you need to research? Alright. Buy my stuff. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot. Alright. Cool. I can go just tune the hell out of all my stuff. I can upgrade so much now. Sam, upgrade my stuff. Linear, I'll be done soon. Wait, okay. Alright. Upgrade that. Upgrade my hands. And then I think I will save the rest and upgrade Chain's stuff next stream. Don't take on any risky adventures, huh? Do I have a story for you, dog? Alright. I'm gonna sell all my stuff that, like, I don't need. I think I got, like, ran pretty dry. No. 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 Okay. There we go. Alright. Alright, I had an upgrade kit. Yeah, I should really upgrade. Yeah, I'll go back and I'll upgrade, what's his name? Meg. Alright. That was really weird looking. She teleported over. Alright. I'll put a slot on Meg. I'll save, and should be done for the night. I cannot believe I managed to beat the boss. That really was just like... Really? I can't? Okay, I mean, I guess I'll just put it all on Chain, I guess. I literally beat that, like, by the skin of my teeth. Like, I can't believe I did that. Oh, boy. Alright. Yes, please, save. Wow, what a stream. That sure was good. For everybody that stuck around after the raid, I very much appreciate it. I hope you guys had a really great time. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll have to, because I know their actual name, but I'm just not saying name just like for privacy, because I don't know if they've made their name known, but Be Flattened. I'll have to thank them again next time I see them in person. For those of you guys are here, let them know too that I super appreciate. That was the first time I was ever rated. The the messages I saw pop up where I was like, Be Flattened, rated with a party, and I was like, hey man, what's up? What's going on? So I appreciate it. Thank you. Very cool, very fun experience. And yes, thank you for the heart emotes, Vipes. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed the, everything. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night and stay cool. Cheers.
Oh, man. I almost had a heart attack there. You've got that killer instinct.